What's up, Angel City? It's your girl Panda here, your host for episode 73 of Angel City Chicks. And of course, I am joined alongside with the amazing, the wonderful, the Nina. What's going on, Nina?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on a Monday night. We know we throw you off sometimes and don't stick to our usual Tuesdays, but don't forget to like and subscribe. Anyways, hit that like button, send us your comments in the chat. We are here for you and to make this an interactive show. Thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, no doubt. And we've got a pretty big game on the MLS side of things tomorrow night. So we thought we'd bring you today's episode today, obviously. So yesterday's episode today.
You still can't make me laugh. I still cough when I laugh, though I feel so much better. Still can't do that 2 a.m. thing. Real bad at the overnights.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, yeah, that was interesting. Another one, man. We are coming into these with a little sleep deprivation happening from time to time. So, but either
Yeah.
way, yes, I'm glad you're feeling better. You sound good. I haven't heard you cough near as much unless I make you laugh, and so
Well,
I'm sure it'll happen a couple times on this podcast. At least I hope so. I
that's
hope
what the
that
mute
there's
button's
some.
for.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. But what are you drinking tonight, Nina?
I've got my rosé and my water.
Oh, good. I've got some Premier Protein.
So it turns out you didn't have dinner or something?
I haven't had dinner yet, and I'm like,
There
I've
you go.
got to have something. I've been so busy working on the slides in the pod for Defenders and then trying to get these slides and everything going for today because we decided today that we were going to do this today. So, yeah, did not have a whole lot of time to
And I'd like some
really.
Nina credit because this was the first time I was actually like prepared with my notes ahead of time. I started working on them last week. I was like ready to go, paying attention, getting my act together. In fact, last night I actually also did all of my laundry, folded it, and put it away in the same night. So
What
I'm
did you do with
crushing.
Nina?
I'm
What did
crushing
you
the
do?
adulting game.
I'm sorry, but did the sickness take over and you are now a new person? I don't understand.
I might be because I also haven't had coffee since I got sick.
Oh, the
I made myself
audacity.
I made myself an iced coffee once. I had 2 sips and I didn't want it. I didn't like it. So I haven't
Wow.
had coffee in like a week and I'm like weirdly productive.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. If you fall asleep in the middle of this podcast, then we'll know that somebody needs to get Nina some coffee stat. But either way, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to chat about on this podcast. You know, we like to kind of segment it out, kind of give you guys a little news here and there. And of course, we're going to start out with NWSL news, some ACFC news. Then we'll go into the World Cup. We'll talk to you about all the drama that's happening there. And of course, we'll talk to you about the Challenge Cup that we most recently played in. And then what is
Fugazi.
Casey Cup? What is coming up for you guys and what you can look forward to? So, I guess without further ado, we've got a lot to cover. I don't want to spend too much time talking about stuff that's really irrelevant. It's just kind of our way of warming up and getting everything going and flowing and getting into a rhythm. So let's just
All
start
right.
off. You ready? I'll
Let's
let you
go
kick
and
us off.
flow, starting with the NWSL Team of the Month. Very excited to bring this one to you because we don't often get players in here. But not only do we have Savannah McCaskill, but also Sarah Gordon making the best 11 for July 2023. And McCaskill.
Yes. I needed to give that to Gordon. I'm
it.
glad she's finally getting some much needed love. She works her tail off back there. Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, yes. And McCaskill actually got Player of the Month as well. So super excited for her there. Like, gotta give it up for that top bun.
Yes, that top bun that again was what did unravel itself in the middle of this game. I don't know if you noticed that, but
twice now where her bun has unraveled and she's redone her hair in the middle of the game. I don't know what has changed. Maybe she got a haircut and she's not, or like she's got to get some new hair ties. I've never seen this from her.
Or she needs a haircut and it's too heavy and it's just not like the symmetry of things is getting off. Or maybe she got some new some new clips, some new hair ties. I don't know, but I hope it's not too much of a distraction. But either way, we love that top bun. It's definitely got some magic behind it. So
Absolutely.
that kind of segues into kind of ACFC news because we don't have a whole lot of NWSL news. We'll talk a little bit about the Challenge Cup at the end of this and what kind of happened and where we're at and what's going on with that. But let's talk about ACFC news. We actually have, I don't know if you guys remember this, but something called the Plane Pool that they did. It was a fundraiser
Pull.
where ACFC
Plain
fans
pull.
Plane pull, where ACFC fans and supporters they were going to help pull a 124,000-pound plane, and it helps benefit the Special Olympics of Southern California. ACFC will match all donations dollar for dollar up to $1,500. So that's a pretty cool little thing happening there. And I was gonna put that. I don't know. I thought I put it in the slides, but I don't know if I did. I will scroll around and see, but yeah. Either way, everybody check out. I got this one from the Poderosa's website, and they have all the links and everything on their Instagram that kind of steer you towards that. It's going to be on September 23rd at 9 a.m. at the Long Beach Airport. So if you want to join, you want to donate, heck, if you want to come out and just watch this craziness happen, I definitely encourage you to do so. For whatever reason, we didn't make it out last year, and I know we really wanted to. So I
Yeah,
hope
I
this is
think there was
something.
something on the same day, but for
Yeah, there
sure,
must have been.
definitely a super worthwhile cause. Make sure you get out there. And we do have one other bit of Angel City news before we go too far. And
Mhm.
I think this is worth revisiting. And I'm going to share this clip again. If you're watching with us on YouTube, this ends up being the save of the week. Angelina Anderson, going back to our last podcast. Look at this. Here she is again with that PK save. And this is actually, they gave it to her because it's her professional debut and she made the save where it counts. Super exciting to see this again and to see her get that recognition. And I just love watching it.
Yeah, definitely deserves an applause for that because I don't care what kind of ball you get kicked at you, being able to be in that situation your very first time on the professional circuit, nerves have to be going. You have to be like a million things have to be going through your head. She so easily could have guessed the wrong way. And, she did it. She did exactly what she needed to do in that moment, locked it down, and well deserved accolades for being the save of the week. So, congratulations to Angelina Anderson. I hope we see a lot more of her in our roster, definitely. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything else you want to talk about with Angel City? I mean, I went on
Well,
their website and kind of milled around, and most of it was just game recaps. They didn't even have a week 3 update of like the World Cup with our players. So
I
I don't
know.
know. I don't know if they're in their field still and not really, but we've got a little bit of an update for everybody.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
Before we get into that, though, something else exciting that's happening in Australia that I know we've talked about before on this podcast was Angel City hosting the Equity Summit in Sydney. And it was an invite only event for 150 change makers, as they called it. And they all met up last Friday at the Sydney Opera House and they actually engaged in a great conversation about equity and impact.
Yeah, it's super exciting to see that. I know it was plastered all over the socials and seeing Julie Ehrman there. And I'm sure this has to be just something that's very near and dear to her heart. And to be able to see it in the way that it all transpired, just such a great thing and more of a testament to the things that Angel City is doing, not just, at the club level, but I mean, literally worldwide at this point. I mean, with what she's doing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely. Very exciting to see them take the fight for equity, pay equity, and things like that. Not just off the pitch, but out of the country and bringing it to everyone else. And, we got to thank our sponsors for being a part of this as well. These things don't happen without money behind them. So, Johnny Walker, Meta, Gatorade, and Hello Sunshine were the supporting partners behind this. Super exciting to see. Lots of people were there, including people from FIFA. So, gotta love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, a great thing. Always, out there front and center when it comes to anything full philanthropic and just really leading the charge for how women's sports need to be handled. So, congrats to them for a very successful equity summit. So, hopefully, there'll
Yeah.
be more of those to come in the future as well.
And with that, I think we are transitioning into our World Cup news, notes, and stats and records and whatnot.
Everything World Cup. It's all about the World Cup. We're gonna talk about, the fun things that are happening, the not so fun things that are happening, the just what is happening things, the standings and the upcoming stuff. So let's dive into it with something kind of positive, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. We know Marta is now out of the World Cup, but let's just look at this real quick. If you are joining us on the YouTubes, you can see here the top FIFA goal scorers, and this is men's and women's. Marta sitting at the top with 17 goals in a World Cup.
Wow. I mean, so it's such impressive company first to be a part of and to be leading the charge in this. I mean, with the names like Messi and Ronaldo, which Ronaldo is that?
Oh, I can't see that
Do
closely.
you see that picture?
Yeah.
I don't know what Ronaldo that is, but that's a funky looking Ronaldo. But we've got
Yeah.
Mbappe and of course Pele. But again, we have Marta leading the charge. We have Prince, of course, she's in 5th, and then 6th we've got Abby Wambach. So a lot of great names out there doing some great things. 17 goals for Marta. Such an impressive stat, and I guess that is where it's going to lie. OG
Oh,
Ronaldo,
Marta.
yes.
Oh, Marta.
Oh, Martha, oh, Martha. Yes. So they posted this on NWSL and and Fox Soccer. So if you are not on the YouTubes, it was just a little tribute to Marta, just a lot of great shots of her, and just talks about how she's one of 3 men's and women's players to score at 5 different FIFA World Tournaments. She has the Golden Ball and Golden Boot winners in 2007 FIFA Women's World Cup, 6-time FIFA Women's Player of the Year. She's got the most goals in Brazil, men's or women's national team history with, I think, 115. Wow, that's incredible. And she's an all-time FIFA women's leader, like we just said, with 17, 23 FIFA World Cup caps. The list goes on and on. The youngest player. And just, wow. I mean, she's just an incredible person to watch, and our sport is definitely going to miss having her presence out on the pitch when it comes to the world stage. So big congratulations to Marta on an incredible, incredible career. Anybody, men or women, would just be delighted to have those kind of stats that go underneath their name. So
Yeah, I definitely wish I was that cool.
right. I mean, yeah, I can't even begin to experience what that would, be like. I mean, that's incredible. So congrats to her. Sad we won't see her anymore, but I'd love to see maybe in what capacity we may see her going forward.
Oh, I'm sure
Can
that
she
we
be
will.
our head coach?
You know,
Too soon? Too soon?
I'm still Tweed. I'm still Team Tweed. But
No,
you know
I'm in national team.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ugh.
you went a totally different route. I'm gonna ponder that.
Hold on. Ponder that on some wine as we move on
Yeah.
into
Let's catch up with our Angel City players.
yes. So
The
as you
field
know,
is-
oh, go ahead. What?
the field is narrowing.
Don't worry, I broke it up a little bit, but obviously these are who
Just
we started out with in
Glad
the
you didn't
World
put
Cup.
X's over people's heads like
Oh my god, that would have been so mean. Or like as we're sitting here, they all slowly disappear, the ones that are gone, like from Back to the Future, whenever the history was changed and everyone faded from the picture.
like it's
But
like
yeah,
America's Next Top Model that does that too, right? Where they like fade away the ones that are no longer in the
right.
contest. Yeah.
Well, looking at this, yes, there are only 2 that remain, and we will chat about them briefly as well. We're going to start out with Allison Swaby. So, first time that they have made it to the knockout stage. How incredible is that?
What?
First,
So
and
cool.
yes, so they will be playing at 1 a.m. So tonight, technically, at 1 a.m. against Colombia. This will be their first knockout round game. So hopefully, when everyone wakes up in the morning, then they will know this result. And I would love to be able to say that Swaby is still out there and they knocked Colombia out, just because it would just be a fantastic story. So Oh, congratulations to Allison Swaby. As most of you know, she is on loan from us at PSG. So, still a part of the ACFC family in my eyes, and I think definitely needs to be recognized.
Absolutely. And then unfortunately, the next bit is we are out by a millimeter. Unfortunately, U.S. women's national team failing to win in PKs against Sweden. We stayed up. We woke up. We watched it.
I
I
stayed up. You woke up. Yes.
Yeah, still not a middle of the night person. Can't do it. I can't
I
hang.
was so awake at that point. I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I guess the game itself gave me so much adrenaline and anxiety and all the feelings that make you just want to like burst through the ceiling. And yeah, I mean, at
I
one
was
point
trying.
at one point I was like, there's no way we're not going to advance. Like that's not how this story is written. And well,
Oh,
unfortunately, unless you live under a rock, you know now that the USA was eliminated from the World Cup by Sweden via penalty kicks and the metric system, a millimeter. Oh, that goal line technology, I mean, I see what that is, but it's still just a rendering at the end of the day. It's still a freaking
yeah.
cartoon drawing, and
Oh,
I don't
it's just
know.
frustrating because you look at these stat lines and you can see we had 22 shots with 11 on target to their 9 with 1 on target. So,
I mean,
man,
we were going for it, man, but their
yeah.
keeper, not believe me, she wasn't much of a factor during the PKs. We were our own worst enemy during the PKs,
Yeah, go
but
ahead and read what your hashtag is.
oh, hashtag the post giveth and the post taketh away. So I guess what I mean by that was we narrowly we avoided getting eliminated in the group stages because of the post. And then the post came back to bite us because, well, I'm was it Sophia Smith's that yeah, I think hit the post? Oh no,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't
There
Sophia Smith's. It was who took that the last one. But yeah. They
well,
got
I know Rapinoe skied it.
Rapinoe and Sophia Smith, I think both skied it. It was that little shot at the that it was a real small shot. It wasn't very I don't know, it was weird. But either
Yeah.
way, doesn't matter. I don't want to hash out over this. I don't need to get into this. But what I do want to talk about is obviously, yeah, O'Hara. O'Hara.
There it
Thank
is. Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
Samuel.
Samuel, because I believe me, that night was crazy. I mean, I went to bed at 5 a.m. and slept for a few hours and like it was craziness. But
Yeah.
that's why we want you guys to join us on these so you guys can help us out because this is a lot of information and picking and choosing what we kind of try to deliver to you and talk about is very hard because I don't know what you guys want to hear all the time. And if you're here, then we can talk about it. And since you
And
brought it up,
I was gonna say, I wanna talk about what Andy's talking about.
yes, I think this was a point of contention for a lot of people. There were some big names, some game changers, some people that sat that bench and didn't see any time.
What are we
What are
doing?
what are we d
What
there's
are we
so many
doing?
I don't think anybody knows what
And then we sub in
Vlatko is
Rapinoe,
doing.
who's, like, on her last legs as a soccer player, who's struggling to keep up, no offense, she's brilliant, but,
Mm, I
she
just don't think
really
she had it, and I don't put that on Rapinoe. I put that on a coach for calling them up. You're the one
and
that
you're
looks at these
playing
players and says, "I think you're good enough to be on the team and represent." It's almost like they look at it like, "Well, you're a legacy, you're a big name,
we
and we
gotta
bring
get
you
you
in
minutes or
we need to bring you in
something.
for that." But I don't know if you saw, but every one of her I know what they were trying to do. They were definitely trying to get near post with Julie Ertz when they were doing those corner kicks, but they were still not great corner kicks. And even at one point, Julie Ertz like kind of like had some words with her. I think she was trying to tell her like what she needed her to do, and just wasn't great. She's just not quick on the ball, and I
Yeah.
don't know. There was just so much.
It was definitely frustrating because it wasn't just 90 minutes of soccer. It was 120 minutes of soccer. The players are not just gassed, but dead. And if we had managed to survive through PKs, what, just real quick recover and then put the same people back out there? This is not the same field. These are not the same opponents from a few years ago. This is new. We have more competition. There are more talented players. And if we aren't waking up, we're getting eliminated. And that's exactly what happened here.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. And I mean, to see some of the, I mean, what I do want to say is I do think it was a great move putting Sonnet in there because we had to have Lavelle out from her yellow cards, and I thought Sonnet had a great game. I thought she worked very
Yeah.
hard in the midfield. I mean, we were attacking so much more during this game, so that was a good move. And I think, I mean, Germa was incredible in the back. Ertz and Germa, I
They
mean,
look
they
great
just
together. I would have rather seen Ertz in the midfield, but Ertz and Germa have great chemistry.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. But having someone like Christy Mewis on her very first touch in the game was a PK. And someone with the legs and energy and dribbling ability and attacking ability like Alyssa Thompson.
Yeah.
I have so many like questions. I mean, just like I mean, you've got people like Sanchez and Huerta and
What are we
Cook. I
doing?
mean, everybody. There's so many people that never saw minutes in this game. I just, and poor Trinity Rodman, she was amazing for the time she was in, and she was sick as a dog. She was
Oh,
getting over the flu or whatever it was they said she got. So I don't know what do you think? What do you think going forward? I mean, is it pretty much inevitable that we are looking for a new coach because what we
no. Apparently, it's not inevitable because US soccer likes to backtrack on everything they do. We saw what they did with the men's team. Like, I think Vlatko's
no
in.
takesies backsies, but they did takesies backsies.
Yeah,
You're
like
fired, but you're
US
fired.
soccer has their head up their own badonkadonks, and like they aren't paying attention. We are no longer the powerhouse in women's soccer.
No, and
Sorry.
and that's, not so much saying so obviously the rest of the world has taken note and has really ramped up the game. I mean, we're seeing so many of these amazing African nations coming in here playing such smart soccer, not just fast physical soccer as the commentators kept pointing out. Like they're actually playing tactical soccer out there on the field, and they are
Mhm.
now just contending because they know and understand and play the game so well. And we can't just go out there and try to like outdo them tactically. Like we've got to really make adjustments all over the place.
You also can't do the same thing you did 4 years ago because guess what? Everybody's had 4 years to study your tape. Like, newsflash. I don't know if you know how scouting works.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, but in your opinion, new coach?
New assistant coach, because I don't think we're gonna get a new
I
coach.
said in your opinion. Do
In
you want
my
a new
opinion, new coach.
do you have anybody in mind? Does anyone out there have anybody in mind that they
Becky
think
Tweed. No, I'm just kidding.
stop it. Anybody out there think they have a good idea of who they should have as the next US women's national team coach?
Pia.
Hmm?
Can we get Pia? Talk about, like, your takesy backsies.
Oh my gosh, man. Okay. Well,
She's sorry she asked.
so
Before we
sorry.
get off this game, though, there was something really exciting that we want to talk about, and that is the amazing keeping of Alyssa Nair. And she actually, with her PK that she took, she's the first goalkeeper to take and convert a PK in a Women's World Cup shootout. So, gotta love that. And you know what? I'm going to go with what Kid Scoop Media is saying on here. Abby Wambach for coach. I could see that. I could see that. And if this is Michelle on there, hey.
What's up? Yeah, no, I absolutely. I mean, that would be great. I mean, someone who's, definitely been there and experienced it to the fullest could resonate well. I think somebody that can really I think someone that really can connect with this young generation of kids. I don't know. I just don't I think it's very hard for
Okay,
someone from
fine. I'll do it.
Vlatko. Huh?
I'll do it. Fine.
Oh god, stop. No. But back to what you were saying about Alyssa Nair. Incredible. She had an amazing performance in that game. She was definitely playing to win. She took the PK, she saved some PKs. I mean, she did everything she could in that last ball. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
oh, I mean, she did everything she could on that, and, just the system just came through and took it away, and I just felt so bad. I just felt terrible for her because she deserved for that to be a save. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw all the work she put into that, but, good for her. What a great accolade to put into your pocket, and hopefully relic on that instead of the sadness that some are feeling, because there was definitely some sadness after this World Cup. I mean, you saw the emotion, you
Oh yeah.
saw the tears. I mean, you felt it. I mean, that Julie Ertz interview when she right after the game,
Oh,
she was just, so hard not to get emotional listening to her talk, because
so
you just felt her, just you felt the words shaking as she was saying them, like trying so hard to put them together, but emotion just
yeah.
was way bigger than that moment.
And this is the moment where we talk about how Julie Ertz has actually announced her retirement from international soccer, which
Oh, hold on.
does that
I mean,
yeah.
I
Does
get
that
it.
mean she's going to be done after her contract is up? What do
Maybe.
you
I don't
think?
know. I don't know. I would love to know the reason for it. Like, was it personal? Was it because of I don't know. Was it hearing all the negativity that was out there? Because let me tell you, Twitter is toxic, everybody. Twitter
It's
is
called
on
X,
it.
and yeah.
No, it whatever. It needs to be X'd out, because people feel like they have all the power in the world to just say some of the most hateful things I've ever read in my life about these women that are actual people and actual mothers and daughters and wives that are literally just going out there and giving it all they got. And I mean, I'm not even going to talk about any of that stuff, but you have to wonder if a player like her, who's smart, she really is, and I'm sure, it's hard to silence some of the noise. Like, is there part of her is just like, "You know what? Like, I'm just done with that." And I don't know. Maybe NWSL alone is enough for her right now. I know, Alex Morgan did say she was looking forward to getting back to San Diego. I feel like a lot of them are really ready to put this and kind of the last maybe couple years of US women's national team drama behind them and start looking forward. And I hope that starts with, honestly, I hope that starts with a new coach. Really. I think I think if they don't see that change, there's not gonna be a lot of excited people ready to get back on board with what's going on. So
Yeah, and I'll say I do believe that coaches can change. Like, it's possible that Flacco looks at this, he looks at the new players, and he adjusts and he changes the tactics and he changes the vision of what it means to be a player for the US women's national team. But not
what?
holding my breath.
Well, what did they finish in the Olympics? The women?
Third? Did
Third?
we get third?
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't great. Like, it started there. So what did we learn from that we were able to carry over to this? I don't know, but but then you've got teams like Canada who won the whole thing and didn't even make it out of the group. So, it's hard to say. You have different players at that time and probably, different formats and everything. But anyways, I don't know.
Oh yeah, we lost to Sweden after penalties in 2020. Oh, that was this year. They already
Wow.
updated Wikipedia.
Wow,
Guys, they
Nina.
already updated Wikipedia for how we lost.
Oh, well, that was they were probably typing it as PKs were happening. You know that.
That's just rude. Give me some time to mourn.
All right. Well, let's just move on. There's not a whole lot we can say about it. I think everybody is pretty much on the consensus that something needs to change, or we need to.
Sorry, we
Yeah,
got a bronze. I lied. Bronze.
that's third
Bronze is
place.
third. Oh my gosh.
Everybody, I think Nina is still sick and she just is trying to pretend she's not. But, anyways, I think we know we need to change. I think we know this
Oh,
definitely was not our best performance, and I don't know exactly, if it was I think it was a combination of things, a combination of, just maybe not playing the best that we are known how to, and maybe the system that was given to them to play within didn't really highlight the best of their abilities. I mean, we did see some changes in that last game where I did see a team that I was much more familiar with. So maybe that's something they take back from this. And I think just a lot of noise around all this. I think, they. I don't want to say they were arrogant, but I think they were definitely confident going into this based on how previous tournaments have gone, and I think they got humbled real quick.
yeah,
And I'm
absolutely.
curious to see. They always say, the comeback is better than the setback. So I'm excited to see
It'll
how they
all
do.
unfold on Netflix. We'll see it there.
This is gonna be the weirdest Netflix documentary ever. I wonder how that's going. I do wanna
Yeah.
know. Do you think
Before
it's
we
still happening?
Oh, it has to. They're gonna go back and then they're gonna do like a 1 month after the World Cup. They're gonna like follow the girls as they watch somebody else win the gold. It's gonna be emotional. It'll take like all of 10 minutes in the whole thing. And it's gonna be here's
Interesting.
what we learned. It's gonna be sappy.
Yeah.
Um, let me tell you
Okay.
how I really feel about it.
That's how you really feel. All right, let's move on,
Before
and
we
then I'm gonna address something in the chat here in just a
Well, I was
moment.
gonna say, you want to address this real quick because Kid Scoop Media is asking, and we like to make things interactive. So here we go. This
Oh,
is
goodness.
that moment.
Wow. Real quick, if you're not on YouTube, we're just
Oh,
showing the clip where
Lauren
Lauren
James.
James
Yeah.
Lauren James
Yeah.
gets up after like a little, tackle situation and pushes herself up basically off of what was her
The
name?
Nigerian
Alozi. I know
player.
it's
Yeah.
Alozi. Uses Alozi to push herself up and then steps on her and away. And Nina, let
Yeah.
me
Red
just
card all day. Also, you're just a mean human being, in my opinion. Like,
what
you can argue, you could argue maybe she didn't know the person was there, but she literally
no,
just like
she
pushed up on her.
literally used her to stand up and then stood on her. Like, there's no part of that that I think was accidental. I think it was 100% deliberate. And I don't think she should actually be able to play anymore in this World
I would
Cup.
agree. Like, this is actually to me almost like borderline a hate crime.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I don't throw that around lightly, but that's just awful.
yeah, and I love what Casual FC pod brought up. Michelle Losey, incredible human being. She is in cancer research. She's got a degree, I think, in like microbiology or biomedical engineering. Like super smart, super amazing on the forefront of medical research. So it doesn't matter though what you're doing. You still don't deserve to get stepped on, in my opinion. At least not deliberately. I mean, accidents happen all day. I get
That's
that.
not an accident.
This was not an accident. I mean,
If it's an
1000%
accident,
deserves
you
the
stop and you go, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
right. What did she think she stepped on? Like, come on.
She pushed
Let's
up
be real.
from being on top of her.
Exactly. So she knew she stepped on her. And I mean, if it was an accident, like you said, she should have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then helped her up
Yeah.
at the very least. But I don't know, man. Like seeing that, it's come on, like be smarter than that. You're on the biggest stage in the world right now, and you're gonna like act like that. That is just childish, and it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unnecessary. And there are some
Absolutely.
plays every once in a while that are a little cheeky, but I feel like necessary in the moment, maybe for the play, or like a good tactical yellow every once in a while that may look a little mean, but you're like, well, it did affect some plays that could have been. This did nothing. So I am
Just
all
awful.
for not having her play the rest of this tournament, in my opinion. Also very sad for Nigeria. I really wish they would have gone through because they played an incredible game. And I mean, just like with us, anytime it comes down to PKs, I just don't think it always means the best team advanced at the end of it. It's all
Yeah.
luck at the end of the day, and they just got lucky. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I
But
feel bad for them.
let's go to happy stuff because we've got one more team to catch up with here, and that's the team of our girl Junendo looking at Japan here. And Japan has advanced not just through the round of 16, but they are on to the quarterfinals where they are going to take on Sweden. And I say, go Japan, go.
Yes, I think we're all here for Japan at this point. I think this is, I mean, we definitely have Swaby, but I think we definitely feel much more of a bit of a connection with Junindo, being that, we do see her at all of our Angel City games, and she's always so nice and sweet and just, yeah, I think Japan is just incredible all around. I mean, just their people and their culture and just the way that they behave. So I would not be upset at all if Japan just took this all the way to the end. And the way they're playing, that is definitely a possibility. They had a 3-1 win over Norway, so they knocked them out. Their next game is going to be a great one. I have not seen any watch parties out there, but there better be, because I can't think of a better scenario than seeing June Indo knock out Sweden, who knocked out us. I feel like that deserves.
June, avenge us.
Oh, June Avendo. So yes, she needs to avenge us. That leave me alone. Leave me alone, Nina.
Do that.
So that one is going to be Friday, August 11th. It looks like at 30 past midnight. So
That's
I
a
guess
little more doable than 2 a.m. My problem with 2 a.m. is it starts at 2, but then you've got like 2 hours, so you're done at 3. And then when it goes into extra time, it's like, 4. And then by the time you're going to bed after the PKs, it's 5:45. And then security calls you at 6:30 in the morning to wake you up. And then you realize you haven't slept.
Oh, Nina.
Not that this is personal.
If you weren't a 60-year-old living in a 30-year-old's body right now, I don't know
You're giving
what
me
is.
too much credit. I'm a 90-year-old living in a 30-year-old's body.
That's true. That's true. So, anyways, we'll keep our eyes peeled to see if there's something going on, a watch party. If not, I hope everyone tunes in at 12:30 a.m. on Friday to see hopefully Japan bump out Sweden. And I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with Mauricio in the chat. I feel Indo is on the brink to become a global superstar. She's such an amazing ball handler, and she's been so impactful in this World Cup. And I think she just has a lot of talent. And I think we have yet to see what she brings to the table. And I hope she wins it all and then brings a lot of that back to Angel City. And we get to just see her explode on that stage as well. So
Absolutely.
congratulations to them. We have the only thing I don't have on this slide is, I think, is that everybody?
I think so.
Yeah, no, I think that's the most recent one. So it's
Yeah.
just the bracket for everyone to see. We've got Spain has advanced. And I don't know my flags very well.
I was going to say, are you really going to try and do this? Go.
Is that Netherlands? It's so tiny. Sorry. Spain, Netherlands, Japan, Sweden. Then we've got Australia and England. And now we are waiting to see between France, Morocco, Colombia, and Jamaica. So.
Well done.
Hey, I know my flags.
And Casual FC with a good point here. Japan are the last remaining World Cup champions currently.
That's right.
So this is anybody's game, and it could be a new champion crowned this year.
Yeah, if it's not Japan.
Which goes back to my point of everything is changing in the world of women's soccer. The field is completely different, and we need to update our tactics. Please listen, U.S. Soccer. Please listen.
All right. So I guess that is really all we have. If anybody wants us to talk about anything else, throw it in the chat. If not, we are going to migrate on over to another tournament that we have seemed to also bounced ourselves out of, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But this one wasn't nearly as sad. This one actually ended up on a high.
Yeah, not too mad about this. Angel City took on the Wave for the final match of the 2023 UKG NWSL Challenge Cup. And, with this game, we ended up tying 1-1, but that means we are now unbeaten for 7 straight games.
Yes.
Like I did that. I'm cool.
I love that. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, yes, like you said, Casual FC, so close. We were kind of
not really.
But not really. I mean, every scenario that we needed in order to advance turned out to be the opposite. Everyone we needed to win or lose did the opposite. We needed to win, we didn't, but whatever, man. I mean, the way that this Challenge Cup started and the way it ended were definitely different. And I feel like that is #growth. And that is definitely what we have been doing since Becky Tweed has stepped into her role as head gaffer. And I can't say anyone has been upset about what she has been able to put through as far as that goes. So let's real quick talk about this game. There were a couple of things that were very worth mentioning. Not a whole lot of craziness, but let's
let you get into this recap right now.
Sure, we can do that. How do you
real quick before we do? Just because Kid Scoop Media asked a really good question. Going backwards, which country do you think could use the win most to further women's soccer in their country?
Ooh. I mean, let's just say, if Jamaica wins and makes it all the way, that would be, I don't even know how to, do that. And yes, and Morocco as well. I mean, if either one of those, honestly, they've already made history being where they're at. And every time they advance, I think it's only propelling it more and more. So I think it's already doing stuff to further women's soccer in their country already. So the more it does that, the higher it's going to be. And I think those two are definitely on the precipice of doing that if it hasn't already. Other than that, it would be, I mean, I'd love to see Australia. That'd be fun because I know going into this World Cup, I don't think soccer was as much on their radar as some other sports. And I think this World Cup has really put a lot of eyes on it in their
Yeah.
country. And if they were to win it, I think it would just catapult it even further. And I think that would be
The fact
pretty
that they
exciting.
have one of the best leagues for women currently. I mean, when we were
A-League?
initially like years ago, back before Angel City was a thing, we were following that pretty closely, and it's a competitive league right there. I'm losing Panda. She didn't like what I had to say, and so she walked away. That was it. She's done with me.
Sorry,
Let's
I had to
get
turn the
into
light
this.
on from earlier because again, I you know what happens when the light's on and it's really dark. I start to turn into Voldemort and lose my nose in the light. So it's weird. But
All right.
anyway,
Let's jump into this. So we know we went down on the road over to San Diego Wave to sit and bake in the sun with no shade, but we went away with 1 point that didn't matter for anything, and that's thanks to goals from Jaden Shaw and Scarlett Camberos, and we'll get into those in a minute. But first, in the 11th minute, San Diego actually opens up the scoring, and that's when Jaden Shaw pounced on a short pass by Didi. And she's actually able to dribble that ball into the box and shoots from a hard angle, hitting the net just inside the back post.
I need to know everybody's thoughts on that. I mean, like coming off of an incredible performance by Angelina Anderson, getting save of the week, and then obviously we start Didi, and I get why they started Didi. She needs the reps. She hasn't been playing much. We need to get her in there. But man, what a rookie move.
Okay,
I
who's
mean,
your starter? If you had to pick a starting keeper right now, Eisenhower, Anderson, or Didi,
oh man,
you had to pick.
that's a hard one because there's just not enough in
Okay,
that
I'll say
Anderson.
I think I start Eisenhower and Anderson's my backup.
Wow, you
But
have just
Anderson could definitely because I've only seen her in one game. I think she could definitely become my starter. But
listen. I will say this: after that screw up, and it was a screw up. If you didn't see the game, Didi got a ball passed back to her, and she went to go pass it right back into the same field of play. And there was a wave defender or wave probably a forward, I guess, at that point on that end. And the thing I didn't understand is their whole right side of the pitch was completely open. We had two defenders on that side. I don't understand why she passed it back into traffic. It got intercepted, shot it, scored. So, I mean, that one was 100% on Didi. But I will say this after this mess up, she did have some incredible saves. So, that is not her problem. She has just never been good with her feet. We know
yeah,
this. That is
and
not where she shines.
I don't think this decision and like what we're talking about now is based off of just one mistake Didi's made. We love Didi, we think very highly of her, but if we look at most recent form, she's not doing what she used to do. And I don't know if she's in her own head or something's changed, but it's also not just about the keeper. It's the keeper's interaction with the center backs and the rest of the team. And clearly something is missing.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson had a great game, and she hasn't given me any reason to think she shouldn't start. I mean, we know Eisenhower's had a couple little, tiny little mistakes, unfortunately, but that happens. So yeah, I don't know. At this point, I need to see more of them for me to start them over her. I get why we start them in the Challenge Cup. It's a great practice. I think even Becky said the timing of this Challenge Cup and the World Cup actually was great because it gave our players time to really keep the reps going, to really be on her feet and everything. But yeah, I mean, I think like everyone has said in the chat, I mean, her ball distribution as far as Didi goes definitely it leaves something to be desired sometimes. And, that decision, like I said, when it's with her feet is not great. However, it must be a mental thing because when she doesn't have to think about it, she is so good reactionary and making saves on the ball. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but
all right, let's talk about happy stuff. Talk to me about the 16th minute, Panda.
All right. So obviously, it did not take Angel City very long to answer because in the 16th minute, Scarlett Camberos, she took on a Wave defender, Kristen Westphal, on that left wing, and she got to beat her around on the outside with a quick burst of speed. And with some runners in the box, she made a left footed strike, flew across the face of the goal, and it landed in the net. And oh my, what a screamer that was. I think
Beautiful goal.
we were all shocked because I think we all thought it was gonna be a cross, and that thing just found the back of the net, and she actually
And
had
let's
some.
go to those quotes from Camberos herself. Because if it was me, I'd be like, oh, yeah, did that on purpose. Yeah. Uh
Yeah,
huh.
I'm so
No
good.
problem. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Uh huh.
yeah, that's
But no,
right.
what she says is, I'm a very honest person and I wasn't trying to shoot it. I was trying to cross the ball, but I'm happy it turned into a goal. I got my first, and that's all that matters is that it went inside the back of the net.
Oh my god, I love that so much because, I mean, yeah, I mean, she totally lets you know that, I wasn't trying to
Yeah,
be, cheeky with
good
it. I
goal.
was really just
Call me
trying to get it
messy.
to someone. Huh?
Call me messy.
Yeah, right? But, it's so good, and you know what? What's really cool is she got to score her first goal in front of her hometown crowd, and she did have a quote about that where she said, "I'm super happy to get my first score, especially in front of friends and family, a place where I've grown up. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win, which is always what we want as a team, but hopefully I'll start knocking in some more goals." Cross that ball all day long, Cumberos, and if it finds the back of the net, then you just own it next time. I'm fine with that. So happy to see her because I guess I've still been waiting to see like some magic from her. I've seen some fun little moments here and there, but I was really waiting to see something. And maybe this will open the floodgates for her to really start banging some goals into the back of the net. So, anyways,
Absolutely. Moving on, in the 39th minute, San Diego actually gets another chance that starts with Dahlkemper sending a cross into the box, but Herachich is able to block that cross out. But per Didi, unfortunately, she's not able to keep a hold of it, and the ball falls to the ground. Both the teams are trying to regain that possession, and there's like a scramble inside the 6-yard box. But it fortunately ends with the ball getting recycled out to Shaw a few yards back. But Shaw's attempt goes way over the crossbar.
thankfully for that. But yeah, it was one of those little moments where we're just like, collect the ball.
Yeah.
Collect the ball. We need that
Oh,
possession. Well, early in the second half, Herachich made a series of clutch saves, which I was kind of alluding to earlier on when I was talking about her. Definitely kept us in the game. And in the 53rd minute, Shaw played a through ball in for Mackenzie Doniak, who shot from inside the box. She did well to block out the shot over the end line, thankfully, and Herachich saved it again when Pogarch got her head on the ensuing corner kick, and a third time on a follow-up attempt by forward Marcinus. So save after save after save. So quick on her feet, not thinking about it, just being reactionary and doing all the right things. And definitely, I think where Dee Dee shines.
absolutely. Definitely good. And, we got a chance in the 72nd minute when Danny Weatherholt actually heads a corner kick from Le'Veon down to the center of the penalty area. And Madison Hammond was wide open, but unfortunately, Hammond's attempt didn't have enough speed to beat it past the keeper, Yanez.
Yeah, and San Diego did keep pushing through the second half, and they did come close a couple of times, including once in the 90th minute. We saw forward Ali dribble into the box from the right, lay the ball back to Shaw, whose shot was deflected over the bar for a corner kick.
We
Thankfully, nothing came from that, and this was going to end in a draw.
Yeah, that 1-1 draw unfortunately ends us in second place for the Challenge Cup in the West Division, which is still great. I tried to tell JR, like, the Wave were more out than we were, and he had to remind me that being out of the competition is a binary state, so it doesn't matter how out you are if you're out. Thanks. But yeah.
Wow. Wow, grumpy face. Jeez.
But at
And
least we came in second. And unfortunately, though, we do not get that wild card type spot because Kansas City in the Central Division had the better record. As Mario from Casual FC Pod pointed out earlier, we would have needed 7 extra goals here for our goal
Well, we
differential.
would have needed like one team to win, one team to lose, and we would have needed to win by like 7. I mean, it was just
Which would have been great. I would have
it,
loved 8-1.
it was a crazy scenario, but it wasn't impossible. I mean, very unlikely, obviously, but again, nothing that we needed to happen happened, unfortunately. But I think what we do is we take away from this what we can, and I think at the end of the day, just playing in these games and keeping the girls fit and ready and kind of in that match day mode, I think is the real win here at the end of the day
Womp
because,
womp.
you know,
You sound like you're gonna give out participation trophies.
you don't even like the Fugazi Cup, so why are you mad, bro? Anyways, let's talk real quick about this stat. So, San Diego had 19 shots to our 12. They had 10 on target, and we had 5. Possession was about even, 51 to 49. Passes pretty even. Accuracy pretty even. Fouls 15 to 12. Yellow cards even. Corners 6 to 7. So, solid from both teams, just too solid defensively for anyone to really break through, more than just the one goal apiece. Now, I love how our goal came off of just a really good play and, a lucky strike, and theirs came off of an error. It wasn't like they put together a series of passes and were able to like break us down and score. So, that's something positive that I'd like to take away from it. Is there anything you would like to say about the game or what you think positively it was?
We're getting better. We're showing that we can compete against somebody who a while ago was shutting us down. And I love that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like we're definitely more competitive. And when we all get our people back, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we're going to get Allie Riley, they get Germa, they get Morgan, we get Thompson, I mean, and Ertz. And I mean, we've got a lot of people coming back that will be super impactful to our play. And if we're playing this well now, insert those types of players in. And I think we're on the upswing. So, real quick, on the
Absolutely.
screen, we have the way the Challenge Cup did kind of end up, except for there's only 2 teams left to play, and that is Gotham and Pride. Doesn't affect us any, but Gotham. Here's the thing: if Gotham wins, they will take Group A, and that leaves North Carolina in second.
And
Still
they
not
don't have enough points
They
to
don't have
be.
enough points. So, North Carolina can go from
Ooh.
advancing to not advancing just like that. So,
Ooh, I
as
love a
far
good
as
spoil.
yeah, as far as Group B goes, our group, OL Reign, they started out so hot and heavy, and it was too much for us to overcome. They ended up with 14 points. We ended up with 8, Portland 7, San Diego Wave 4. And then in Group C, we've got the Current who's taking that spot with 13 points. Racing Louisville has 12, so they would be the wild card spot that would advance at this rate because of the way Group A is. So it's kind of
Yeah.
exciting. So we know LL Rain's in, we know Casey Current's in. We still have 2 spots that we're not. Well, I think we know the third spot. I think it's going to be Louisville. So we're still waiting to see if is it going to be North Carolina or Gotham, and I don't even know when they play, but keep an eye out for that. And then yeah. Hmm?
Speaking of Louisville, our next match is actually going to be against Louisville. So when we look ahead, we have them on Saturday, August 19th, which is my mommy's birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Mama Kiefer.
And that's going to be at 4:30 p.m. and it's going to be broadcast on Bally Sports SoCal and streamed live, of course, on Paramount Plus. When we look at our head-to-head against Racing Louisville, we are 1-1-1, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 tie. That's the same thing. 1 loss.
Wow, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 tie, 1-1. Yeah, wow. Good job, Nina. Good job, Nina. Oh, wait, I can't make you laugh. You'll start coughing.
Yeah, we can't do that. But it's going to be exciting because I don't think that this is the same team that has played Louisville before. I'm sorry. We are a totally new team here. Throw the playbook out the window. You got nothing on us.
What do you question for you, Nina, because I don't know the answer to this, and I apologize. I hope this does not insult my anyone listening for my IQ here.
Oh, now I'm excited.
No, so when eliminated players from the World Cup are done, when are they allowed to rejoin their teams? How does that work? When do they
They
stay till
should
the
be
end?
coming home relatively soon,
Do they
but
leave
I
and come
assume they're going
home?
to
Do they
have a rest period before they start back up.
Sure. So I guess I mean, like, is it all up to the player? Is there something in writing that says
There's definitely going to be something in writing, and I would think it's team specific, based on their contracts and what their regulations are for releasing people for international duty.
duty? You said
Yeah.
duty.
But I
So
do know that Angel City is told them that they could have some rest.
So
Like
they have 12 days until this game. Do you think we'll see anyone that has been
I
like
don't think
Allie
so.
Riley?
I don't think we're going to see anybody, but I would be very excited to see Allie.
Or would she stay while she can in her, in New Zealand and just take
Yeah,
it all in? And
that one's definitely a little bit different because she's
yeah.
home. So she's got
Just a
family there.
question. If anybody knows the answer to that question, please let me know. I mean, I will do my best because I just thought about it to
Yeah.
research it and then maybe let you guys know on the next one if I find out. But anyways, let's go forward. We talked about playing Racing Louisville on the 19th, Saturday. It is going to be in Louisville at 4:30. So I'm sure there will
Yeah.
be watch parties for us to watch. But let's take a look at the standings. These are exciting
Woo.
because I mean, things could change. We are currently sitting in 10th place, and Louisville is sitting in 7th. If we
But
win,
not by much.
no, no.
A
If
win puts us
a win bounces above them.
it
So
puts us into 7th place. So
exactly right below the wave. So hey,
I like this. And, when we play Louisville, one of the things that we're going to look forward to is a lot of counterattacks. Louisville is known for their counterattacks. They also defend heavily. So they play a very, what's the word for lots of running?
what?
They
I
run a
mean,
lot. They get
just
up, they
say
get
that.
back. Well, there's got to be a word for lots of running. Like, how it's like aggressive if you're like really competitive, but speedy, not speedy, but like movement focused.
Wow. Okay. Sure, Nina. Sure. Let's just go with that.
But they are
Um,
going to play a lot through the midfield. You're going to see their midfield doing a really good job of dropping back and defending, but be mindful of that counterattack because they rely on their momentum to score.
so you're saying they're constantly moving.
That's the one. Yes.
That's it. Okay. Constantly moving, lots of endurance. They're going to try to wear us out and run us all over the pitch. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Thank you for translating from Nina.
You're welcome. All right. So look forward to that game. Hopefully, we'll start to see maybe this table shake up a little. I'm excited about this part of the season. I
Wasn't that
think
Taylor Swift that did Shake It Up?
shake it off.
Oh,
Shake
that's
it
the one.
off. Not up, off.
This is why I wasn't allowed to go to the concert.
Did anyone go to the concert?
Melissa did. My friend
Really?
Melissa. Yeah, you know Melissa. And Wilkie.
Oh, did she take out a second mortgage for her home for the tickets too?
No, it was a Christmas present.
From someone who took out a second mortgage for their home? I was looking at tickets. Now they are cheaper now. I was looking because I've heard her concert is incredible. I've heard
Yeah.
she does a great job. She has like 44 songs on her set list and she doesn't stop moving. The set constantly changes and I've heard it's just incredible and I'd love to see it, but not for that money. Maybe someone will live stream it one day and I can just watch from my comfort of my own
Disney
home.
should do don't they record like how they did with Hamilton?
Yes. Oh, that's when Christian's appendix ruptured during Hamilton when we were at home. So I haven't finished it yet. All right,
That
let's
was
move
like
on.
3 years ago.
I know that's ridiculous. Let's not. Moving on real quick, just to put this graphic up there, upcoming games, which I love how they used a graphic for the 4 people that will not be in at least one of those. But we've got, like we said, August 27th. Oh, wait, we didn't talk about that one. Sorry. I highlighted these games
are the
because
next
these are
games.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
August 27th will be against OL Reign. It's going to be back to school night. I'm assuming we're going to be donating school supplies and things like that as well. We'll keep you posted on that. On September 21st, we've got Orlando Pride, and we're doing a Celebración de Culturas. So we are celebrating, I guess, is it just what kind of culture?
All cultures.
All cultures? Just a cultural celebration?
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. And then on October 15th, against the Portland Thorns, we are having Fan Appreciation Night. So as soon as we find out what all that means, I'm sure it's giveaways and things like that, we will let you know. Other than that, that's really all we really have. We try to keep this all
We're getting good at staying under an hour.
I'm trying. So, but anyways, we were trying to make all this digestible information, but give you as much of it as we can that we thought was relevant. So like she said, like, subscribe, give us your thoughts. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are, what we can do better, what you would like us to keep going. Anything you got for us, send it to me because Nina will cry if you say anything bad.
Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
here's our quote from, of course, head coach Becky Tweed. She says, "This performance was scrappy. It was a little ugly, but it's a point. We're not happy with just a point. but if we can raise the level, it's actually a good learning point for us to take away.
Well, like I said, you got to find the silver lining, and, maybe not advancing out of the Challenge Cup wasn't great, but hey, I'm sure they've learned so much from this game and their first game in the Challenge Cup. They've grown, they've gotten better, and they've definitely given us all something to be very positive about going forward. And again, Becky, she hasn't lost a game since she's been head coach, so I think let's just keep that up.
Yeah, full tweet ahead.
Full tweet ahead.
Bye.
Bye.
And here's our fluff.
Did you almost forget the fluff?
No, we didn't write anything in the fluff.
There's no fluff. I don't even know. I'm so tired from these nights of you know what I have to not do? I can't shut my computer. Remember what happened last time?
My God, yeah, you do that every time now.
Sorry, I forget. If I shut my computer, the slide goes away, and then no one can see the slide at the end, which I think is amazing part. But anyways, thank you everybody for joining us and being a part of this. We love feeling like we're actually talking to people. It makes it a little more conversational, and we actually do.
And hold on, I want to give a shout out to Mauricio, who subscribed in the middle of the episode.
Oh, thank you, Mauricio. Thank you so much. And if anybody else watching has not subscribed, please head on over and subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. Not anywhere financially, but emotionally and psychologically. And it does boost my self-esteem a tiny bit. So we really appreciate that. But
we need that. Thank you.
Going to Vegas. So I don't know what next Tuesday's pod's going to be like.
Oh,
shoot. Just FYI. Yeah. So just stay tuned. Next Tuesday, I will be in Vegas for Christian's birthday. We're going to go and celebrate for a few days. And we'll be back on Wednesday. So I doubt it'll be Wednesday night because that seems weird.
You're gonna be dead.
But we'll figure it out. We'll do something. I don't know. We wing it. We're good with that. But
yeah.
Either way, anything else that you would like to add?
It'll be a solo pod, just all Nina's inner monologue.
Oh God, that's when everyone unsubscribes.
No, they're gonna love it.
No, they will not love that.
They might.
All right. I don't really have a whole lot else to say, but I'm proud of our women. I'm proud of everyone. If you haven't seen Barbie, I definitely recommend you go see it, by the way.
Was it amazing?
I loved it. I really did. I really loved it. It was a lot different, I think, than anybody who just sees Barbie is out there. Like, you don't know what to expect. I hope I know a lot of men, especially, that I don't know, we're offended. They felt like it was very male bashing. And
Paige Nielsen.
Oh, stop. I didn't feel that way. I think it was more like just trying to have women owning their own independence and not feeling like they needed, men. So there was one part where America Ferrera gave her little speech, and you know me, Nina, I'm not very emotional, and I cried.
You cried?
Mm-hmm. I did. Like, just her saying what she was saying about women are expected to do this and then be this, but then they're also expected to also be this, but this. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like I felt that so hard because I was like, oh my gosh, like that's like Christian's like looking at me like I get that. So either way, if you guys did not see the Instagram reel that they posted on what are your relationship deal breakers, by the way, hilarious what Paige Nielsen said. She says, if you're a man.
I laughed so hard. I love this so much. Like, I'm sorry, Paige Nielsen to me makes also some of the best reels, because she did the one where what my wife thinks is going to happen when I leave the house not wearing my wedding ring. And she like falls over because somebody behind the camera is like throwing their clothes at her.
That's amazing. No, that was just funny because it was so out of like left field. Like I wasn't expecting it, and that for her is a deal breaker. For you and I, that is not a deal breaker. That is actually, for me, that is a requirement. So thank you to all the men out there. We do love you, and we appreciate
take the girls
you.
To Barbie.
And yes, and go and enjoy it with an open mind, because Christian really enjoyed it. And he wore a pink shirt.
The coolest cat shirt.
Yeah, he wore a pink shirt with black cats on it because we have black cats. But it was like a great time for him to wear a pink shirt with cats. But the girl next to us goes, I love your costumes. I was like, well, it was really just clothes, but I guess it's now a costume. But either way. Done. I
All
think
right.
any man that is very, like, sure of himself and knows, like, that he is a good catch and, solid in that, I think would have a great time. Like, don't be offended by that. I mean, look for the inner message there, and it is really good, and Ryan Gosling did an incredible job, and his song in it was hilarious, so definitely recommend it. Other than that, hope to see you guys all during our next podcast, whenever it may be, because, well, look, we just changed things up tonight, and that's how this went. So,
We try to be
anyways,
normal.
yeah, we try. But other than that, that is all I have. Do you have anything else?
Bye. Part 2.